record? Okay, here we go. We are recording. So let me go ahead and screen share. And here we are. So guys, thank you for being on the call tonight. Tonight's call, the topic is the ownership culture. And I want to talk a little bit about this new idea of ownership culture versus accountability culture. And we're going to get into that. But before we do, let's go over a couple of things that we need to know that are popping right now. Information that's happening right now. So we know we've got the Fall Classic that just started on the 1st of the month, okay? For new coaches that are just joining us that did not get on a Fall Classic team because you're a brand new coach, don't worry, but just so you have an idea of what this is about, it's a friendly competition, the whole coaching network wide, and you're able to buddy up into teams of 3 and do a friendly competition amongst other teams in the network for prizes, fun prizes, and it consists of Success Club points. So if you're a brand new coach and you are not a part of the Fall Classic and you are not even sure what a Success Club point is, don't worry. You'll be hearing about it. You'll be watching everyone go, and you'll learn all that kind of stuff in new coach training. But for anybody else that's in the Fall Classic and participating, get together with your team. I know my team and I, we haven't quite done it yet either because so much has been happening, but this is on my schedule for tomorrow to create a private feed on Facebook Messenger so we can go back and forth. We're going to create a calendar of different things that we're going to do together, like challenge groups, business opportunity calls, sneak peeks, all these kinds of things that open up doors to getting points and racking in those Fall Classic points as a team. So get with your team and make sure that you have a plan. You'll also see in the team page, the team calendar was posted. I am going to do my absolute best to abide by this calendar and not miss anything. But I need you guys' help. So with that being said, we've got new coach training happening on the 9th. That's Monday. So who is this for? New rule. This is for new coaches, rank Coach through Emerald that can be in the new, Coach Emerald and Rubies can be in a new coach training. Diamonds, we're going to talk a little bit about what your role is going to be when it comes to coach trainings. But for right now, the new coach training now is just for brand new coaches. So if that's you, what you're going to want to do is sign up as soon as you see the post come live on our team page, okay? And what happens in this training? It is completely solely online. It's a 10 to 15 day training, depending on the, I'm kind of revamping the material right now. And what it is going to give you the foundation to this business. So kind of, it's going to go over the back office. It's going to go over earnings, how we earn money. It's going to go over how to run challenge groups, all the kinds of things that you kind of need to know as a firm foundation to get your business, gaining some momentum. So if you're a new coach, just like as you were promised when you signed up, you were not going to just be thrown to the wolves. We were going to help you out and train you. This is the training that you want to be a part of. We have a Diesel Nation call happening that same night, so just mark your calendars for that. And then we have a business opportunity call that Wednesday. I usually host the business opportunity calls. I will be hosting this one as well. And what this is a live webinar for any prospects that you may have. When I say prospects, it means someone who is interested in the business aspects of what we do, okay? So anybody that's been maybe in a challenge group of yours getting results and that they want to continue drinking Shakeology and, they started to kind of dabble in friends and family asking what they're doing, they're a perfect candidate to be put into a business opportunity call so that they can get a better sense of what we do. Some of you guys came from business opportunity calls. So that's going to be on 11/11. I'll be hosting one. And once I have the announcement put together, I'll place it in the team page for you to share as well. Social Media Bootcamp. I know you guys have been waiting a long time for this. I did not want to start this group until I felt comfortable that I had the time to really put into it and I had the material put together. I've been working diligently on it, and I think I'm ready. I know I'm ready. So we will set that off on November 16th. So that sign up sheet that you guys did early on, I think last month, I will be getting that sign up sheet, and then every person that asked to be in, I will be plugging you in on probably two or 3 days before the 16th, so we can get everybody kind of put together, and we'll take off on the 16th, and that will be probably a 5 to 7 day training. Okay, and the last piece of news that you need to know is that Hammer and Chisel is launching on December 1st, okay, more or less. We still don't have an exact date, but it looks like that's what's going to be. I have started what's called a Hammer and Chisel watch party event. And a lot of you guys are mistaking this for an actual live event. It's not a live event. But what this is my way of kind of counting down to the launch of Hammer and Chisel and getting everybody psyched about it. And not just psyched, but informed on a lot of things, on what to expect, on equipment needed, on the different kinds of workouts. I'm going to be putting in there videos of other test group participants and their testimonial. I've been sharing before and after. So all that's going to be happening in that page. You want to invite anybody and everybody to that page so that they can, you know, kind of build the excitement towards Hammer and Chisel. It's kind of keeping everybody in the know on launch date and what to expect. I can tell you that, you know, having the fact that I was chosen to be in a test group is a huge thing for our team, up, down, sideways, you know, all around for Diesel Nation and Diesel Core. We have to leverage that. We have to get out there and talk about it. Share a lot of before and after pictures. Share information about it. When Christina Delgado was in the 21 Day Fix Challenge group, that month that it launched, I think that was the most successful points I ever hit, and I hit in the 60s, okay? That's what can happen if we leverage this correctly. But we have to get out there now and talking about it, not when it launches. So use that event as my way of helping you also keep everybody in the know, all right? So to the topic of the night. So I wanted to talk to you guys about ownership over accountability culture. And the reason that I decided to talk about this is for two things. Well, one, this was a topic at leadership, okay? So, you know, leadership is the top 0.2% of the entire network that gets invited there. And they teach us things that obviously they want us to bring back to our teams, and things that are of value all across the board for coaches in the network. So I really, this was something that was a kind of a gut check for me as well. And I really liked this concept because a lot of times, you know, I think when we hear accountability, we automatically think of coaching as accountability. I know that when I talk to my customers that I place in challenge groups, I use the word accountability over and over, and I let them know I'm going to hold you accountable, okay? That's perfectly fine. But I think once we cross over into the world of coaching, okay, and we essentially, it's not just a cliche saying that we say it, but we are essentially CEOs. We are our own bosses when it comes to our businesses. I think that we have to switch the mindset of accountability to actual ownership, okay? Because CEOs, they own it, they run it, they fix it, they are the person that takes control. To me, a person that's accountable is more of an employee mindset. They're looking for instruction. They're looking for permission to do things. They're looking for someone else to tell them, come on, let's go, you know? And so we got to kind of make that little bit of a switch and understand that as coaches to our customers and our challengers, yes, we hold them accountable. But when it comes to our business, we have to have the mindset and the culture of ownership, all right? So let's talk a little bit more about that. This was actually a slide used straight from leadership, okay? And it's called the Be Blameless system. So a lot of times we, you know, I just hear it all over the place. I'm not just saying in our team, but all throughout the wall. So when you're 5-star and above, you get plugged into this big old group called the wall. And you hear all these people putting blame on why they're not successful or why their coaches blame them for not being successful. The bottom line is that the only person responsible for your success is you. Just like the only person responsible for my success is me, you know, and it still remains to be me. So there's this thing, you know, with this quote that was put in by Christina once. Oh God, we have 10 minutes. I don't know what the heck happened. I think we got in too soon. Hold on one second. Give me a second. Okay. Where we have to learn that it's not about, you know, your coach helping you build your business. It's your coach helping, but you need to build your business. You need to be responsible, not putting the blame on anybody else or not putting the responsibility on anybody else. So they came up with this exponential system, and I really liked it because the first one says, I do, you watch, we talk. So that's like a brand new coach coming in, right? You don't quite know what to do, but you're watching your mentor do it. So they're doing, you're watching, and you guys get together and talk about how you can do it. The next step to that is we do and we talk. So then you start to become a little bit more active, right? You start running challenge groups, perhaps with your mentor or your sponsoring coach, or perhaps with other coaches on the team. And together you talk it through and you work it through, right? But then there has to come a point where you stop relying on someone else and you start doing. And your mentor and your coach will sit back and watch, and you'll talk about it and perfect it. And then the beautiful part about it is that there's going to come a point where you're going to do and you're going to inspire someone else and mentor someone else, and someone else is going to be watching you. The key to this is to understand that there's a certain responsibility even at the very moment you become a coach. It cannot be your sponsoring coach's responsibility to learn the things that you need to learn, to find the foundation that you need. You know, we run training groups, but it's up to you to actually go into the group and apply yourself. Okay, just like social media training, just like personal development, just like all these kinds of things that, you know, we have tons of tools, but unless you're using them, you're not taking up your responsibility in the system. Okay, so I really like this slide because it kind of put it into perspective how we grow into our position as a full-blown, you know, coach that stands on 2 feet and is running their business. It's okay to have a learning curve, but you have to understand that there is still responsibility from day one on your part. Okay, so let's talk about real quick process for being a leader. And this was another slide used at leadership, and I loved it because to me, I think a lot of times coaches are looking at leadership as some kind of like rank. Well, when I have enough coaches under my belt, then I'll feel like a leader. I beg you to understand that that's not it. Leadership is a mindset, and it's something that you step into the role. You decide to do it, okay? And the first step is it's happening in your own head. You can't lead anybody else unless you're leading yourself. So it's got to start with you. Before anybody else can duplicate what you're doing, you got to start something. All right, so it's going to go on in your head first, and from there you're going to teach yourself and you're going to guide yourself. From there you're going to find one other person that you can help, right? Another, maybe a customer, a challenger, or a coach that joins you right off the bat and you're able to run with. Before you know it, you're leading a smaller group of people, right? This is kind of like a diamond status where you've already gotten at least a team of 8 to 10 to 12 people, and you're like, okay, I've got people to run with, and you're leading that group. And before you know it, you're leading a movement, an entire team. But what I want everyone to understand is that leadership doesn't start when you have a certain amount of coaches. It doesn't start when you have a certain rank. It doesn't start when you have a certain income. It starts from the moment that you decide you're going to own it, completely and fully own that this is your business and you are the CEO. So I really loved this process that they put out there at leadership as well. So the culture of ownership. What I envision, what I see for this team, and what is going to work for us all across the board is building a team of leaders building leaders, okay? The world has enough followers. We don't need more followers. We don't need people, praising Christina, Becky, myself, my mom, Bridget, Janine, all these coaches that have already reached maybe a diamond and star diamond rank and saying, oh, you guys are great. No, we all need to rise together. And the only way that's going to happen is leaders building leaders versus followers. So what does that mean? It's kind of like, we are grooming the next generation. We're creating a culture that's going to set us all up for success. Because what happens when we start building a culture of ownership? Well, I'll tell you that the attitude and the outlooks change, okay? Instead of people looking at things as a struggle, instead of looking at the glass half empty, people are positive. Their outlook is an outlook of solutions, okay? When they know what they're doing, when they have the tools, when they have already developed that sort of personal responsibility for their business, their attitude changes because they know it's their baby and they feel that way. They don't feel like they're working for somebody else. You know, nobody around here wants to feel like a boss, right? Does anybody want to feel like a boss? Does anybody want to tell anybody what to do? Because I know I hate telling anybody what to do. I detest it. But what we want to create here is a genuine system of leadership and mentorship and teamwork, okay? And that's only going to happen if everybody's pulling their weight. And the attitudes and the outlooks on this business are going to be way different if we can do that. We're going to teach, and I hate that word, what is tolerated, because I don't like that. I mean, this is not my slide, this is their slide. But instead of saying teach what is tolerated, I kind of feel like let's teach what is productive and what is not productive, okay? Because I'm no one here to say what's tolerated or not, but I kind of feel like we need to create an environment where we're all productive and we're all are able to find answers for ourselves. We're all able to, you know, understand our income, understand our rank, understand our team so that we can better lead them. All these kinds of things is going to create a team that we are all thriving from. Turning everything into a teaching moment. I'm pretty sure everybody can raise their hand here at one point, whether me or their personally sponsored coach, instead of giving them an answer, directed them to where they could find the answer. I know you probably want to punch me or that person in the face, because once upon a time, I was that coach that was directed to where to find the answer. But you know what? Today, I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it because now I know the ins and outs of this business like I know the palm of my hand. And had I not been forced to learn that, I would not be as successful as I am today and as knowledgeable I am today to mentor others. So turn everything into a teaching moment. That is a culture we want to provide. We want people to be standing on 2 feet for themselves. And then at the end of the day, what are we creating? It's kind of like parenting, right? We're creating the next generation. The way we treat our coaches, the way that we mentor them, the way that we make them feel, the way that they feel like they can handle it on their own is going to create a whole other generation coming right behind us of coaches that do the same things, okay? So I really love that. I really love that idea, culture of ownership versus just having to be holding everybody accountable, okay? Because to me, having to hold everybody accountable makes me feel like I have to be a boss. And just like you guys don't want to be a boss, I don't want to be a boss. And so let's create something where we're all working as a team. And that means each and every person carrying some kind of responsibility, okay? This quote was used at the end of leadership, and I just absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it because I feel like this is what the job of a coach is. It says, see the light in others and treat them as if that's all you see, okay? What does that mean? Is that really honestly what our job is just to believe in the next person, to believe that they can do it, not to do it for them, not to enable them, but to give them the ability to do it themselves, the tools, the motivation, the belief that they can. And I promise you guys, if we lead with this, each and every one of us are there to hold each other up and work with each other and elevate each other, we will as a team thrive much more that way, okay? So I really love this quote, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. So here's what does owning it look like. And I made this list, and since we're going to be about to be out of time because I messed up here, I will post this list on our team page. But this is what I see owning it look like. And right now it's November, right? Okay, sales are low, all these kinds of things. It's a low time for us right now. What can we control? We can control our actions in our business. This is the controllable, okay? We cannot control that right now the market is slow and we'll pick up in January, February. But these things we can control. So I'm gonna plug this into the team page, and I kind of put it towards ranks, and I hope that it helps you guys determine what are the actions that you should be taking to get to the next level, okay? And what owning it looks like. And that's pretty much what I've got for you guys tonight. Let's end 2015 with a bang, because we can, because we have a crap load of leaders on this team, potential on this team, and I see us going places. So keep going, guys. Keep fighting, and anything that I can help you with, anything that anybody can help with, please, team page, shout it out. So be on the lookout for all registrations for trainings, for team calls, and all